around 220 days right now that we've not been able to seat people in our restaurants.
We were closed for 4 times, total of 192 days.
Restaurants look busy right now, but behind the scenes, owners are having sleepless nights because they're still trying to figure out how they're going to pay back all the CEBA loans that the government gave us.
We have been operating the restaurant on 35 to 50% of our normal revenue.
The pandemic has hit our network incredibly hard. We've lost over 10% of our locations permanently.
Pre-pandemic, we employed about 100 staff at 7 locations.
I used to have 142 staff. Now I have 95 staff.
March 16th, we had just over 150 people in our company. A week afterwards, we had 3. And we asked our communities for help. We sold gift cards, donated 100% of it to our staff. We were able to raise close to $60,000 for them.
Nobody had a steady income or not knowing what the future brings in. It was a really tough time for restaurant industry.
Imagine you can't put food on your table, you can't pay your rent, childcare, all these different things and unknowns that were going on.
Now look at this restaurant. In 2019, this was voted the best new restaurant in all of Halifax. And then COVID happened. And now we can't find the staff to open it and run it 7 days a week.
Our franchise partners are seeing increased labor costs to be able to get people back to work, as well as increase in food costs of over 10%. And in a 5% margin business, it is incredibly hard for them to be able to make money on any given day.
Currently, 2 of my locations, 18 months in, are still closed. 2 of them are just starting to open.
So it's just been really difficult to continue to fund the losses and pay the bills. I've taken on a lot more debt.
What we need to remember is that we need help for the long term. Just because we're getting back to normal right now doesn't mean we don't have a whole bunch of debt. What we need is long-term recovery.
I made the very difficult decision recently to close the mothership, Taylor Cafe Bar.
And so when we're shut down, I think the impact, the ripple effect it has on everyone else that's in our supply chain. We're not the only ones, restaurants are not the only ones impacted by this. You have to look at all the people that feed into the restaurants in order to feed the people that weren't able to come in here.
Giving back to the community was a very important part of our business philosophy. We hosted many fundraisers at our restaurant. We hosted a couple of free turkey dinners for those in need at Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Even when we were shut down, we were still providing food for homeless shelters, for our staff. And, we're not able to do that same level right now. And that's probably the most painful part.
Now, the government assistance and financial support for small business has been extremely helpful at both federal and provincial levels of government.
I am 100% confident without the CEBA loan, the wage subsidy, and the rent subsidy, my businesses would have collapsed. And not only mine, but hundreds, if not thousands of other small businesses.
And if we want to make it a level playing field, these subsidies have been rolling back now when we've just opened up. There's no possible chance we can recuperate the amount of losses we've experienced.
Now, I'm not asking for a free handout. We need to do our part in all this. However, when this first happened, we got 75% back on our wage and our rent subsidies. And right now, we're faced with reduction of wage and rent subsidies so that it's starting to hurt us.
What I'm asking for is that these subsidies continue on a little bit longer. We are so close to the finish line. We're not there yet. We're almost there, but we don't know what's going to happen in the fall. We don't know if customers will come back. We don't know if sales will increase. We don't know if this pandemic is truly over, but we do know that these subsidies helped and we need to keep them around a little bit longer. So this is my plea as a small business owner to please extend the rent and wage subsidies.